There is one note that reigns supreme in the blues. If you want to see what that note is, hang out to
Yep,
find out.
I definitely do. This guy is awesome. I watch his videos. He has no idea who I am, but shout out to Tim. It is Tim Daily Guitar on YouTube. I am not your music teacher, but he could be. He's got a Patreon page. He's pretty cool. He does lots of good stuff. I am just an inventor of tools. My name's Steve. I have musiclabs.ca. I have invented and designed these tools to help you learn stuff from Tim and other guitar instructors online. So we're going to watch one of his videos. It's kind of an intermediate to advanced level stuff as far as I'm concerned. And we're going to show you how you can use the fretboard escalator, circle of fifth style, and chord and lead generator to understand the concepts that Tim is going to explain and show you, and then you can practice it without having to grab your computer until, of course, the next lesson you need from Tim. But the idea here is to get on the tools and get practicing straight away without having a screen or an app or some ridiculousness like that. They're all tactile tools. Okay, let's go. I've put the pegs in. I already know that I've watched his video briefly. We are going to be in the key of G major, which is G underneath the outer Roman uppercase Roman numeral here. The outer ring is major, the inner ring is minor on our circle of fifth style. And then we've got a 1, 4, 5 chord progression. We have a fretboard escalator set up with all of the intervals shown here in the key of G major, which is G underneath the 1, just like G is underneath the 1 here. And we have a fretboard escalator without intervals. So this is the basic fretboard escalator. This is the advanced pins in the fretboard escalator with intervals. But the basic one just has colored root notes, and we're going to understand why I colored them the way I did according to his lesson. So let's go.
First thing we're going to do is I'm going to play it across the blues backing track, and I'm just going to hit this note interval an absolute ton. So see if you can guess what it is, then we'll talk about what it is and how we use it after the solo.
I was just about to say tasty. All right, let's see what he says.
So if you guess which note it is. Now, when I'm talking about note, what I mean really is interval, okay? The note's going to change, obviously, depending on the key you're in.
So the intervals are up here. You can see intervals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Notes would be something like the note G. And as he says, it changes. The note would change if you were to change keys. So let's say we were to change keys on the fretboard escalator. We're now in the key of G sharp major. The interval is still 1, but the note is G sharp. Okay, let's go back. And now we're back to the key of G major. Continue on, Tim.
Intervals don't change. Now, the interval that is the strongest note, it is, drum roll please, Big Jim.
I prefer a strong
Yeah,
D.
it's the major third. So the major third is the
Okay.
king of intervals.
Major third, what's he talking about? So we have the major scale put onto the fretboard escalator, and the third, so this is our chord. We've got the root, the third, and the fifth. These are the intervals, 1, 3, and 5. So for the 1 chord, the root is 1, the 3 is the third, and the 5 is the fifth. It makes sense for the 1 chord. But when we get to the 4 chord, for example, 4 is the root, 6 is the third, and 1 is the fifth. Okay, so it can get kind of confusing, but just look at them as numbers. Don't think, oh, the 1 is always the root, then the 3 is always the third, and the 5 is always the fifth. No, that's only for the 1 chord. For the 4 chord, it's different. For the 5 chord, it's different. Okay, continue on, Timothy.
It's the king of intervals because it's the one that's the most unique to the chord. Now, let me explain that. Let me take a G7 chord here.
Okay, I'm going to skip the part where he explains why it's the strongest. You can watch his video for that. But what I want to do is show you the third, the major third. So what I have here, red is the root. Hopefully you can see that. Yep, red is the root. Okay. And then if you look at that, that's the 1. And the 3 we just mentioned is the third on the root. So that is going to be the 3 here. So all of the 3s you see I've turned blue. okay, third, okay, and then we've got another third down here. There's a 3. So you can see everywhere there's a 3, I have changed it to blue. So when he targets the major third, he's targeting the blue notes on the fretboard escalator. So if you were to play this against his backing track or another 1-4-5 backing track in the key of G major, when that first chord is playing, when the 1 chord is playing, and you target the blue notes here, you're targeting the third, exactly how he's speaking of it. So how do you find the third? Well, that's probably better set for another lesson, but if we look briefly at the fretboard escalator on top, which has all of the intervals laid out, you can see that the 3 is 1 string down and 1 fret to the left. Now, why is that? Well, we need to first understand that the guitar is tuned in fourths. So when we count to 4 from 1, 2, 3, 4, right? The 4 is underneath. And then between 3 and 4 is only a half step. I digress. If you want to know more about that, I've got other videos, so do other people. But nonetheless, let's continue on with Tim for a little bit here, and we'll identify some of the notes he's going to go after.
Now the major third is convenient located here, right in the middle of the chords. It's dead easy to see. It's right under your second finger.
This one.
So in this case, it's the 4th fret of the G string. So in the key of G, the major third is a B note. Obviously, that changes depending on the key, right? Yeah. And why is it so unique? Well, let's think about it, right? So if I'm playing other notes, let's say I'm playing the G note, right? And you might think the G note, well, that's pretty strong in a G chord, right? But the G note is actually in the C chord as well. Think of a C chord, the G note's in it. So when I'm playing the G note, it's not clear whether I'm playing actually in the G chord, the G tonality, or the C tonality. But if I'm playing this note, it could only be in the G chord. That's why the major third is unique. It's stronger. Yeah, you got it right. It's stronger than the root note. So outline.
Okay, so what we can see here, there's no 3 in either of the other 3 chords. That's what he's saying. There's no 3. There is a 1 here, there's a 1 here, right? There's a 5 here and a 5 here, but there's only 1 3 in this entire group. Likewise, there's only 1 7 in that group. So that's why it's strong. So that's what he's getting at.
Finding that clearly indicates you're playing over that chord, right? Now, when I go to the C chord, right, for the same reason I play the major.
Okay, we're going to the C chord. That's the 4 chord in our 1, 4, 5 chord progression. So C chord 4, and let's see what he's got to say.
Major third of the C. It's unique to the chord. It makes it very clear I'm playing.
So again, he's talking about the major third of the C, which is going to be the 6, right? Of our 4 chord, our third is a 6, and there's no other 6. So what we can do is we need to go find all the 6s here and turn them yellow. So the underneath, and it's the cool thing about the guitar is it's the same. So underneath the 1 is always a 4. We're going to ignore the shift to the G string. But underneath the 1 is always a 4, 1, 4, 1, 4, right? Underneath the 3 is always a 6. So you can count it, right? 3, 4, 5, 6. Just like I said, the guitar is tuned in fourths. Just add 4. So we've got 6 here. So we're going to change that yellow. We're going to change this 6 to yellow. And any other 6 from here, we're going to change to yellow. So now we have the third of the 1 chord and the third of the 6 chord, both sort of popping out at us on the fretboard escalator. All right, let's go, Timmy. I shouldn't call him Timmy. It probably drives him crazy. He'll never see this video, so it's okay.
In a C chord tonality, and not a G, or not a D, right? Which is also the other chords in a G7 blues. Now the major third over the C chord, again I'm seeing this chord, right? And I'm seeing this note here. And often I'll slide into it from a
5th fret B string, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh, magic, right? It's that 6 from the 4. So we've already got it highlighted yellow, and he's saying slide into it from the 4th.
A semitone below that minor third to major third. So far over the G, we've got, yeah, I might come back to the root, over the C, yeah, I might go. Over the D, I'm going to do the same as over the C because it's the same shaped chord.
Okay, so for the D, that's our 5 chord. That's the 7. And what he's saying is that he's going to hit this 7 here. It's the same shape he's saying that he's using, because if we look at the C and the D as chords, it's a 4, 6, 1 to make a C chord, right? So 4, 6, and 1, if you play these 3 notes together, that's going to be your C chord. And if you played 7, 5, 2 together, that's going to be your D chord. So what he's saying is that he's sliding up to this 6, do-do-do, and he slides up to the 7, do-do-do, right? A little higher. So he's using the same shape. Now I haven't highlighted it on here because it's just going to get to be a little bit too busy and too many colors, and it's a short period in his tutorial, but nonetheless, that's what he's saying. He's barring here to make the C chord, then he bars here to make a D chord. And he's saying he slides up to that 6, and he's going for that 3rd, right, of the 5 chord. He's going for that 3rd, which is a 7, right? Do, 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 do. Yeah, cool. That's pretty neat. Love it.
Then, so mostly the noodling that I did, I was outlining those major thirds. So I might have started something like this, right? So there, what I'm doing is I'm starting on the major third, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I'm hitting that first on beat 1. I'm also sliding here from the flat 5 into the 5. Yeah. And I'm finishing on that major third. So I'm very strongly expressing the major third. Then what I might do is I might go up, say, G major pentatonic. I might go, you know, it's a bit BB King. So that I'm going major third, 5, 6 root, yeah? But you can just think of it as the major pentatonic. But I'm going also from a strong note, a strong interval, a third, to another.
Okay, so I think I could probably leave it there. You should watch this video. It's awesome. Tim Daly Guitar. I'll figure out if I can put a link to at least his YouTube channel or this particular video in my description so you can get there. Shout out to Tim. Thanks so much for this lesson. I'm Steve. This is a circle of fifth style. That's a fretboard escalator. If you want a fretboard escalator, you're going to have to support my Kickstarter. It's not reality yet. This is just my invention. I own the trademarks. I own the patent on it, but I need some funding to get this thing out in the wild. Injection molds are expensive. If you want a circle of fifth style, though, that is on Amazon.com. So just search for circle of fifth style. You will find my product. Okay, let's wrap it up, and we will see you in the next application video. Thanks again, Tim. Appreciate it. You're awesome.